It's okay. Vic, man, what's happening?
Not too much, man. How you doing?
Great, man. Listen, it's like talk a little bit about, a lot of people know you and know around the city of Rockford, but our show reaches beyond the Rockford limits. And I think it's important that people get to know who you are and what you do. I know you DJ, man, and you have a real passion for music, your culture. Man, talk to us a little bit about, who is Vic?
Well, I'm a local. I'm from Rockford, born and raised. 100% Mexican. My mom and dad are both Mexican, so that's something that I always carry with me through all my endeavors. Everything I do, I don't ever forget, my roots or anything like that. In about 1999 or so, I got into hip hop. Full stream. I was exposed to everything from breaking, DJing, graffiti, rapping. Literally was exposed to all that at the same time. So I set out to try to learn everything I could about hip hop in general, and I got really big into breaking. I was very active for a long time, competing and traveling. And while I was doing that, I was teaching myself how to DJ on the side. Nowadays, more or less, I DJ a lot of DJ a lot of large scale breakdancing battles around the country.
Wow, man, that's awesome, bro. Well, Gabby, you might just want to mute your mic. That'll cut that background feed.
This but disaster Vic,
right now. I know you're in the arts and you break dancing and you DJing. You also have a real passion for being involved. Just your community involvement, man. Where's that come from?
I don't know, man. I just I've always liked to do, put together events and just share with people. I like to share the things that I know. So when I have events, it's for everybody. I don't know where that really comes from, but it's fun. It's something fun to
do. Yeah, I mean, it's a passion, I'm sure, that you have, because it's a lot to be involved, man. I mean, just, staying on top of things. And I always see you posting, bro, supporting the arts here in Rockford, man. And I just think that's fantastic, bro. So your connection and your drive, man, it's infectious, So I just really have a lot of respect for it. So I said, we got to get this guy on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. Talk to us a little bit more about, just your music aspect, man. I mean, I see you always posting some of the old vintage, I don't know what you call those bands, man. It's like the more the Mexican cultural, music band. Man, what? Tell me about that, man. Talk to me a little bit about that. Where's that coming from, man?
Yeah, man. I come from a family of musicians. My dad plays guitar, and my two brothers play instruments, and so do I. They're more to the traditional style, Mexican style of music. Once I got into hip hop and rap, like that's just the direction I went.
Yeah,
I was really hardcore about it for a long time. And it's really when I got into record digging, looking for samples and stuff, that I really got back into Spanish music from the 70s and from the 80s, because I started buying records, looking for breaks and stuff like that. But my family and I, we've always had a very good connection with music. It's been a hobby, it's been a passion, and it's been a form of income for all of us for a very long time.
Awesome, bro. Gab, I know you want to jump right in here because I know y'all working on some things together.
All right, first of all, sorry for the technical issues. I think I have it fixed. I don't even know that I heard anything that you said, Victor, to be honest with you. But this is what I want to know. Like, I know that you break dance, and how would someone in Rockford, for example, get into that? Like, is there like a scene? Is there, how would somebody want to kind of break into that vibe?
Well, as of right now, there's no type of schooling here for that. Not yet.
Okay.
It's something I'm working on.
Okay.
But you know, something like breaking or like, you know, rapping, like hip hop in general is a calling. You know, no one taught me anything. I taught myself everything. And then when I started meeting people we had similar interests, you know, we started vibing, kicking it, practicing, we will learn from each other. But, you know, when something calls to you, it just calls to you, and there's no way to fight that. You know, now, obviously, with technology, it's so easy to go onto YouTube. You can learn how to do anything. You can learn how to brake. You can learn how to fix your car, et cetera, et cetera. You know, everything that I learned, I was from seeing other people maybe get down for like 20 seconds and just trying to memorize that, and then going home and trying to interpret that. And you know, it wasn't easy, but that's just how I learned and how my peers learned. It was on our own.
Now, and if I missed this, I apologize. But like, I am always so fascinated by just your depth in music. Like, it's not just the current stuff. Like, you got crates, and you're a younger person. To have an appreciation for music like that, that comes from someplace. So, like, obviously, you said that you grew up with musicians, but like, did your parents always have some music playing in the house when dinner was cooking? Like, what was it like growing up with music?
One of my favorite quotes that I recently heard is that art decorates space and music decorates time. And music was just always in the background. And I feel like it's always in all of our backgrounds, whether we like music or not. When we're at the grocery store, when we're fixing our bike outside, fixing our car, drinking with friends, you know, driving home from work, you know, those days when you're so tired, you don't even pay attention, but something is still playing. So it's just instilled in all of us in some way, shape, or form. My connection and the connection that my family shares is because we actually performed and we played instruments and we took the time to practice and to learn those songs. So, you know, it's like when you start getting into those styles, you start you start questioning what the source is or where did they come from and who made it and what. So that's really where I'm at. I'm always looking for why. You know, why are things done this way, or why, you know, there's no possible way to have all the answers. So that's why I'm looking for music. You know, the last few years I've been focusing a lot on Spanish music. That's where my, you know, level of expertise is gone. But I mean, I just love sounds and I love music, you know.
Hey, Vic, what is, do you play the instruments at all? Do you play something?
Well, I mean, I know my way around a few instruments. I won't say I'm the greatest, but I could play the piano, I could play the trumpet, I could play the sax, a lot of percussions. And then obviously the turntables is where I really put a lot of my time and effort in.
So do you ever, you know, are you sampling and doing some of those things on your own music? Because you got mixtapes, you got some stuff on SoundCloud, you know, tell us about that. But like, are you actually putting some of your instrumentation into that?
Oh yeah. I have recently started making my own tracks. So, you know, breaking is a community I'm very heavily involved in. In the last 5 or 6 years, I've been DJing battles, you know, a lot of battles in the Midwest. But you know, with breaking battles going to the Olympics, being streamed on YouTube and on Facebook, there's this huge copyright issue. So I can't play like the traditional James Brown or Jimmy Castor bunch tracks because they'll get flagged. So now a lot of DJs are creating their own tracks for the copyright issues. So that's where I'm at right now. I have been making a lot of original songs for, you know, breaking events and competitions, just because that's basically the future. Any competitions you see, the finals, you know, they're usually streamed on large platforms, so you need those original tracks for copyright issues.
That's fire.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Wow.
So recently, I'll just kind of bring it back to Rockford. Recently, some murals just went up. Well, they didn't go up, but they announced 12 new murals are, you know, coming to the city, and 2 of them are going to be on the south side. So I just want you to just maybe talk about you know, maybe your excitement for that, and like what you think, why is bringing public art important to this community? Why should people like rally themselves around it and support it?
I'm excited about the second round. I was very excited about the first round when I heard. So it's such a great project, and I think it's another avenue to many other opportunities. But to me, public art is important because a lot of the buildings in the South Side area have been abandoned for so long, and they're just empty. Empty, decrepit. They look like nothing, and those are the things that I grew up seeing, and my friends grew up seeing, and even kids, to this day, are still seeing that, just decrepit, lonely, things. But I think the paintings, for one, just it's just like visually, it's like just fantastic to see. I think they're they can be inspiring, they can be uplifting. They can inspire, just inspiring the next generation of artists, to see like beyond the paper and beyond their limits, because a lot of these artists are coming from out of state. A lot of these artists are 100% living off art. And I think it's important to show, especially our community, that you don't just have to settle for Amazon, which is cool, or you don't have to just settle for UPS, which is cool too. You can be something in the arts related. You could be an actor, you could be a dancer, you could be a singer, you could be a painter. And these 12 artists are perfect examples of that, because they're getting nice salaries for these projects, and they also just adds to their resume and leads to more work. So I just think they're very important, and I'm happy that we're finally going to get some in our area.
Definitely, just that beautification, I feel like it just gives a community hope, right? And then I think it also is going to create this attraction, because I think that more people need to come to the South Side and see that while we're not perfect and there's opportunity, there's still some things for you to see. And speaking of the South Side and coming to the South Side, we want people to come to the South Side this week, and I'm just going to let you take it away with a major project that I am so, as your alderman, I am so proud of you and so incredibly proud of just what's going to be coming to the South Side. So tell us about Baile.
Well, so I had been talking to the Ethnic Heritage Museum maybe like around 2019, very just loose conversations. And then obviously when COVID hit, everything shut down, and stuff that I was working on, I just kind of put it to the side, to think of new things to work on, but I really have to give you credit for, you went to visit one day, correct? And you met up with Jocelyn, and you threw my name to her, and that just really kind of got it picked me up from where I left off. So I mean, I definitely got to give you a shout out for that. So yeah, so right away. No, that was
said,
great.
He's not giving himself no credit. The president of the museum said to me, Alderman, is there anybody that we know that would just be an amazing curator of Mexican art and local history? I was like, I think I know the perfect person. I think I know the perfect person. And I hit up Vic. I'm like, Vic, you need to do this. He was like, say less. Say less. And now we, like, literally, I mean, this was not a year ago. This man took this thing in 60 days, it feels like, and now we have something really amazing coming up.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
As soon as I emailed her and she wanted to meet, like right away, my gears started turning, and I already had a bunch of different ideas that I wanted to try to execute. At the same time, ironically, I was going through a bunch of video cassettes that my dad has from old performances. I was archiving them because they're all on different type of video cassettes, and I just wanted to put it on the hard drive for him so he could just watch it whenever.
Yeah.
So I was doing that at the same time when this was all going on, and then I just kind of like, maybe I wanted to showcase music in some way, shape, or fashion. So I just, my dad being a musician, he had all these photos and like cassettes and some records, all from here. So I started picking them up, and And I was like, well, there's enough here to maybe do something. And then a few people were approaching me that they wanted to kind of share some things. And my dad actually had a bunch of posters in storage from like the 80s and the 90s that were just, I didn't even know he had them. So and they're all handmade, they're all from Rockford. So it's like, it's literally a piece of history. And it really does me or him no good just being stored away. So it's something that I'm like just very excited to share with the community. A lot of people don't even know. I mean, people don't know the struggles. Like back then, like I'll upload a flyer right now and it's everywhere. Back in the day, if you had a party, you had a band, if you were a DJ, you had to do the footwork. You had to drive. Well, first you had to get someone to design a flyer, and then you had to find someone who could print it. Then all the money, and then you literally had to go, which I like that aspect. You have to go to businesses and talk to them and say, hey, I'm Vic and this is what we're doing. And if you can hang up my poster, yada, yada, yada. I mean, it's definitely, in that sense, it's a connection. But, these things that we kind of take for granted, these ancient ways of doing things is definitely what is a part of this display, is seeing how stuff was done, because it's so easy now. It's great. But we take those things, I think, sometimes for granted.
Oh yeah, you had to go door to door, man. You putting them on cars. You had the grocery store. You had all the events. You had to really do some footwork back then, man. So now you just push a button, boom, and 1,000 people got it.
So the exhibit is when?
The exhibit will be opening on this Saturday, May 29th, from 12 to 4. It's a free event. We have a food truck out there because around lunchtime. And it'll be up for the rest of the month. The museum, currently we're only open on Sundays afternoons. But if this goes well, if things start picking up for us, then we could definitely offer more days and more events like this that are very community driven and very local driven.
Absolutely. That's awesome that it's free. So there's typically, there's usually a small fee to get into the museum, but like to be able to go and do something for free, get some different culture, experience something different, that's really, really exciting. So I'm very, very happy for you. And I can't wait to see it. I know it's going to be amazing.
Most definitely, most definitely. Vic, we know what's now. You told us everything that's happening now. What's next, man? What's next for Vic?
Oh, I just want to keep, I don't know. I just want to keep having fun, just keep doing events that I think are just different and unique and are just beneficial to the community. I definitely want to do more events around this side of town. The last few things that I've done have been focused on the south side. So I'd like to continue to do that. Do art shows where we could bring in very well-known painters and very well-known speakers and things of that nature. But I would really like to see all that happen in this neighborhood. So that's currently my goal. It's kind of always my goal, and that's what's up.
Yeah, man. I also want to just, I know you do some DJing. Have you had the opportunity to do any type of DJing outside of Illinois on any big stages at all?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Chicago a lot, a lot in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Madison, Racine, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Des Moines, Dubuque, Iowa. I definitely have done most of the Midwest for very large scale breaking battles.
That's amazing.
What do you like to spin, man? Like, what's your favorite music, man? You like to,
yeah, no, I really like what you would consider maybe like Afro Latin rhythms. A lot of congos, a lot of percussion, just very free form, very Latin driven with the melodies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm most known for when I do competitions.
What artists, man? Give me some artists that inspire you as a musician, really, and someone who loves music. Who are some of the artists that inspire you?
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Gosh, I've always been very inspired by the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
he's such an intelligent person. He's just always someone who's always he's a renaissance man. He's always creating something in some way, shape, or form, be it directing or composing music or coming up with curating events and happenings. Yeah, he's always someone that I always looked up to, and just like Wu-Tang Clan in general was a philosophy I've always lived by. A lot of the things that they speak on.
That's what's up. What's up? Culturally, I mean, give us some of them bands like in Spanish, man, that have inspired you to really, promote your culture and be involved in the community. Who are some of those artists that you can give a shout out to?
I mean, there's so many. Also, one of probably my top 5 favorite groups of all time is a group from Venezuela called Los Amigos Invisibles, which means invisible friends, and they're actually like they're a disco funk band, but in Spanish. And they just put out the greatest music in my opinion, because it's just so like funky, but it's so Latin at the same time. It's one of my top 5 favorites of all time.
Awesome.
Wow, man, that's what's up. The show is called Talking to the Band. I know you said you play some instruments, but you're not real good at them. What's the one that you probably figure you have the most talent in? What instrument?
I played the trumpet for a long time. I mean, I can still play. I just don't practice it, which it's something I've been planning on doing. But yeah, I was really good at the trumpet. I played it all through high school and even shortly after that.
So
that's what's up. You dance some bachata, man? You dance bachata?
I can.
Am I pronouncing it right? Bachata? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You dance a little bit of
that? Yeah,
a little taste.
That's what's up, man. I learned how to do it a little while back, a few years ago. But I love the music. I love the rhythm of it. The flow of it, man. It's just, oh my God, man, it's infectious.
Yeah, that's a great rhythm. That's the cool thing about most Spanish music, is that it's meant to dance with partners. So when you go to like these weddings or these quinceañeras, it's like it's nonstop dancing. It's one of the few cultures, if not maybe the only culture, where men still ask women to dance. Like
yes,
women are sitting down, and there's still like some gentleman aspects to it, which is nice to see. The few times where I've gone to parties, it's men just asking women and getting turned down or getting saying yes to. But it's something you don't see too very often outside of the culture, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Vic, talk to me a little bit about salsa, merengue. I mean, give me a little bit of that. What's your thoughts on that, man? You spin any of that type of music? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I have, those are definitely 2 party musics. The tempo is like really, really fast. I do play a lot of like some of those artists like Willie Colon or Joe Batan or Tito Puente. Like they do have tracks that would fall into the categories that I play for breaking, because breaking the tempo is a lot slower for breaking than it is for like salsa. But usually those type of things I definitely play like after, when battles are done, when it's time to just kind of chill. I play a lot of that. And it's cool too, because it's another, again, like those rhythms are meant for partner dancing. And anytime you play some of those songs at some of these parties that I've been to, it's like it's immediately just couples dancing, and it's cool. I enjoy seeing it.
That's what's up, man. What are you spinning on, man? I see you got the tables. I'm following you on Facebook, man. I'm secretly stalking you. I see you doing your thing, man. What do you work with, man? What kind of equipment, man, are you working with?
Well, I can DJ on anything, literally anything. But I started on turntables just like anyone else. My first turntables were belt drive turntables, so they weren't the greatest, but they did what I need them to, and I learned a lot from those 2 turntables. Then eventually I upgraded to Technique 1200s, which is kind of like the standard for professional DJing. 2 great machines. I bought them in Chicago. And yeah, I use records, or I use the turntables depending on what kind of gig I got. Then I got the smaller controllers. I got one that I basically carry in my car just in case. hook up my laptop.
Just in case.
Yeah. Or I
That's
keep
what's up.
I keep a thumb drive. I keep a thumb drive with me with like 2 sets, you know, because that's how easy it is now. You don't have to have the crates of records. You could just have a thumb drive, and certain machines, you can just plug the thumb drive in and all the music is loaded onto it. So I'll have something like that on me most of the time too, just in case.
Vic, man, this has been a pleasure, bro. Love the information, great information. To young DJs, man, that are aspiring to just get started in the game, man, and do it. As we close out, man, what would you say to them to encourage them, and what kind of advice would you give?
You know, everything is so easy and so accessible now. You know, why I appreciated DJing so much, at least, I mean, I still do, right? But when I was a kid, you know, nothing was cheap, and nothing still ain't cheap, but you could be a DJ for a lot cheaper now. So I had to work for all my equipment, and I bought it a piece at a time, you know, and it took like a year or so. So now you can buy something, it's almost like a toy, and you'll just be like tired of it, you know. So my first step, at least what I tell kids, if you're gonna start this DJing thing, like work hard and pay, you know, like piece your stuff together instead of just buying something, like earn it, you know. And if you know, because if you don't like it, then you're just gonna not like it, and that's it. But if you, you know, if you kind of hustle on the side, and that's what you want to put your money in, like when you think about, man, I worked all this for this, then maybe it's not for you, you know. But every time I got 20, you know, I played away till I was able to buy something, then I buy something else, then I buy something else.
Sacrifice, baby, sacrifice.
Yeah, yep.
How would a young DJ like start building their network? Because I feel like that's a big piece of it, right? You got to start knowing people so people can start giving you gigs. That's really it. Because if you want to make money, people got to know you. So like, how would one do that? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that want to. There's a lot of young people that want to start getting into DJing, and like they don't have a clue that it really starts with knowing people.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely huge, to a fault, because you still want to be good.
You still want to be good. Yes, absolutely.
Because you can have the network, and I've seen this happen, and where people have the network or have the, you know, I got a homie, he put me on the flyer, and it's just not good. You know, I think even before, I think once you're good and you know you're good, then you know that you can start selling yourself. You know, I think people will sense that, okay, like he's good, but he's not cocky. The cocky ones will get the gigs first, but not have the level, you know, or they won't have the it won't be any good, you know. And a lot of times I can catch that, you know, and you can tell how the people who have just started, who don't know what they're doing, which is fine, but that you keep in the basement or the session spot, you know. Like no one's ever seen me on my worst day mess up, you know what I'm saying, because I know what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and when I'm going to do it. So, you know, it's just, it's easy to network now with just the social medias. You can become a part of a DJ group on Clubhouse or, you know, Instagram or whatever. At the end of the day, I think you just practice is first, you know, making sure you're good.
Man, well, Vic, man, you know, how can people get in touch with you if they want to book you? Give us your information so that, you know, they can reach out, man, and keep you busy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I'm Vic Rivera on Facebook, Vic Monsta, VicMonsta on Instagram. And I'm, you know, I'm at the disposal of the people. People have questions or want to know anything, or I can introduce you to somebody. Like I'm here for that, you know. So, you know, I tell people, man, those don't hesitate to reach out. Like I'm available.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And one more time, I know there's a big event coming up. Tell us about it again, bro. And how can people, you know, if they want to go, they need the time and all that, and where it's located.
Absolutely. We're on the corner of South Main and Loomis, the Ethnic Heritage Museum Park. It's our first event that we've had in over a year since COVID. It's called baile, which means, dance or party in Spanish. It's this Saturday, May 29th, 12 to 4. It's 100% free. It's family friendly. A lot of history, a lot of neighborhood history, a lot of Rockford history will be on display in a way that's never been done or seen before. So it should be pretty cool.
Man, that's what's up. Y'all make sure y'all get out there and check it out.
Definitely.
Vic, man, anybody want to shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, just thank you too for having me. Appreciate it very much. I really do, and see you both soon.
All right.
Absolutely. Vic Rivera.
Vic
Man,
Rivera, Vic Monster.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
All
Much
right, man.
love
Thank
to
you.
you, man.
Yep.
And keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yes, yes.
It's a
Yes,
real
sir.
inspiration to everybody,
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely.
All right. We got to have you back on again. We'll do a part 2 later on.
Okay, let's do it.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Gabby, that's all I got, baby.
All right. See you
We outta
later.
here. Y'all take it easy. Later.